So I was just about to make myself a cup of coffee, and I thought this is probably a great opportunity to show you the gas stove that I've been using for a little while now. This is the Fire Maple GreenPeak. If you're interested in hearing my thoughts on this stove, keep watching. Before we get started, I do want to thank Fire Maple for sending the GreenPeak gas stove so that I could share it with you. So I expect this will be a very short video. I will give you the specifications for this stove because it's very light and very powerful for its given size. It has a few other features that make it something worth looking at as well. But more importantly, I'll show you how I've been using it and share my experiences with you. All right, let's get started. All right, I took the stove off of the gas canister and put it back in the included stuff sack just so I could show you how small and compact it is. In fact, I carried this and the 4-ounce gas canister inside of my Fire Maple Petrel cook pot, and that's what I'll be using today to make my coffee because they just fit together so well. And that's where I did the testing, is with the Fire Maple, and I'll talk about the results of that in a minute. So there it is in its collapsed state. So we will attach it to the cylinder so I can show you. But before I do, I just want to point out the Lindell valve on the top, or on the bottom, sorry. It does have an O-ring around the outside. This is one of the few stoves I've found that when you attach it, doesn't release any gas, and I expect that this has got to be super stable as well. So it seems to be a very high quality connection point at this. Now the only specifications I'll give you now is the weight and the rated power. Everything else I'll be putting in the video description anyway. So it weighs in at 3 ounces. Not very heavy at all. It does have a bit of weight compared to some of the other ones that I have from Fire Maple that are made of titanium, but this one is made of stainless steel primarily, so it does have more weight than some of the others. Still a very small, compact size. So let me grab my cylinder, my little 4-ounce isobutane cylinder, and it goes on nicely. Like I said, no gas escape at all, which is great. You fold the 3 legs up. There is the valve for the gas release and a piezoelectric lighter. How simple is this, right? Now, what I wanted to show you is how this sits on the how the Fire Maple Petrel sits on top of this, because it is like, I think this is a better design or matchup than the Hornet 2 is, for a couple of reasons. You can see seems to be as if they were made for each other. In fact, they probably well could have been. And the reason why they're such a great matchup is more so than the Hornet 2, the titanium Hornet 2, this one has what's referred to as a windproof design. Wind resistant maybe, I don't know, but windproof. But can you see how the burner itself is concave? It runs downwards, and how many different holes there are, plus the little ridge along here. That all works together to resist lateral forces from the winds. And when it's that close to the heat exchanger, once again I'll put it on with the pot on top, when it's that close, it's virtually up inside. I don't think the wind can get to this, and my experience has been that it doesn't seem to be affected by the wind whatsoever. So perfect matchup. Now, let me just reach for my notes, and I'll give you a few of my test results as well. What I'm going to do is first I'm going to give you what Fire Maple rates this as. Now, this has a 9554 BTU burner, or 2800 watts, depending on how you want to express it. So that's quite a bit of power for such a small stove. So Fire Maple says that they are able to get 1 liter of water to a boil in 3 minutes using 15.7 grams of fuel. Now, they do also say that the water started at 20 degrees Celsius. That's room temperature. That's not tap temperature or stream temperature like you would find out in the woods. I didn't repeat their tests exactly. I used what I normally use for a test, which is 500 milliliters or 2 cups of water, cold tap water. So that would be well below 20 degrees Celsius. I used that Fire Maple Petrel pot that I just showed you. I got a boil time of 2 minutes even with 6 grams of fuel used. Personally, I think that's outstanding. Really, it is. And especially when you consider the wind-resistant design, the simple operation of this. I think it makes a great combination stove to go with the Petrel for sure. So that's basically all I have to show you. I am going to be using it to make my coffee. The only thing is I will show you using it, but you're not going to see the flame pattern out here in the daytime. All right, let me just set up and make some coffee, and we'll close this video out. Light this up. The Petrel on. That's not going to take long at all. There's my coffee ready to go. I'll bring it back in a moment when the water is hot. I don't think that was even a full minute. All right. Been testing out these little pour-over bags. They call them elephant ears. I don't know if that's the correct name for them, but seem to work very well. Nice for single cups of coffee like I'm doing now. And it's going to take a moment or two for that to all drain down into the cup. And then I'll sit back with my coffee and close this video out. Change position to my little chair here so I can sit back and relax a little bit. The other nice thing about these elephant ear bags is that when you're finished with them, you know, the whole thing is compostable. So that'll go in my garbage bag to take home today. And it works really quite nice. Quick taste test. Makes a good cup of coffee, those things do. I'll bring those back for a more comprehensive review at some point. There's something I purchased myself. I wanted to test out, haven't seen them elsewhere. Okay, the Fire Maple GreenPeak gas stove. There's a lot to like about this stove. I like the fact that it folds down so nice and compact. I like the fact that it has the piezoelectric lighter. That's no small thing when you're trying to get a stove lit. And it works, you know, flawlessly. It really does. I like the valve seating on top of the little canisters, or any size canister for that matter. It just seems to be much more secure and much more stable as well. Not that I had issues with others, but this is just at the next level, we'll say. And I actually think now that were I to be purchasing the Petrel and wanted the stove to go with it, it would be the best combination, I think, is this stove, the GreenPeak, with the Fire Maple Petrel Pond. I think they work perfectly together. Very fuel efficient, very wind protected. Great combination for sure. Okay, not a lot to say about these stoves, except other than it works well and it's fuel efficient. What else can you say? All right, if you have any comments or questions about the stove itself, put those in the comment section below. I'll put the specifications, the full specifications for it in the video description, as well as the link where you can take a look at it on Fire Maple's website. But until next time, get out and explore and take that path less traveled, because it will make all the difference. Bye for now.